Would you like to know which are the unfriendliest cities in the world? These cities are notorious for their rude treatment of travelers and their inhospitable atmosphere. Why would anyone visit these cities? Maybe these travelers didn't realize how unfriendly these cities were. Before you book your next trip, make sure your destination is not one of these top 10 rudest cities in the world. Number 10. Paris. Placing 78th out of 82 cities, Paris ranks among the bottom 5 cities for expats. The Getting Settled Index, 81st, is Paris's worst area, coming ahead of only Kuwait City, 82nd. Close to 2 in 5 expats find the Parisians generally unfriendly. Paris is also one of the world's worst cities in the Finance and Housing Index. Everything is just so expensive, says an expat from Portugal, from housing to food and basic items. While the city also ranks well for local leisure options, 24th, the same cannot be said for personal safety, 66th. In fact, 17% of expats say they feel unsafe in Paris, compared to 9% globally. According to the report, Paris was voted as the least friendliest city for tourists in the world. The entry of Paris as the rudest city in the world brought out a contrast from the reputation the city has built over the years as being the romance capital of the world. The French capital has invested heavily in marketing its star attractions to foreign visitors, to much success, with the city attracting over 20 million tourists each year. Number 9. London. Coming up at number 2 in the world's rudest cities list is UK's capital, London. Despite having a multitude of attractions which include 4 World Heritage Sites, Kew Gardens, Tower of London, St. Margaret's Church, and the Palace of Westminster, the city was voted as the worst city for tourists in the UK. To put London's miserable position into perspective, the city attracted 65 million tourists in 2015 and accounted for about 54% of the total visitor spending in the United Kingdom. While communication might not seem such a challenge for English-speaking visitors, tourists claim that Londoners are some of the frostiest individuals they had ever met. Number 8. Beijing. According to the report, the title for the most unfriendly city in Asia goes to Beijing, which ranked 3rd in the 10 rudest cities in the world. While most tourists commend the welcoming nature of Beijing residents, visitors to the Chinese capital encountered a huge language barrier, with majority of residents speaking in Chinese, and many hotels in the city have menus written in Chinese. Another key factor behind Beijing's prominence on the miserable list is its terrible environmental pollution, with the city being covered by a thick cloud of smog. Number 7. Monte Carlo. Monte Carlo is the world-famous capital of the Principality of Monaco. The city is one of the most popular tourist destinations in Europe, attracting millions of tourists each year. Monte Carlo is famous for being one of the host cities of the Formula One Grand Prix, a renowned racing competition. The city's favorable residency laws made many global celebrities to become Monte Carlo residents. Despite the city's popularity, it was voted as the 4th rudest city in the world. Due to the influx of affluent residents, ordinary visitors find it hard to fit in, as most facilities in Monte Carlo are extremely expensive. As a testament of the extravagant lifestyle in the city, Monte Carlo has featured repeatedly on lists of the most expensive cities to reside. Number 6. Buenos Aires. The Argentinian capital, Buenos Aires, was voted as the rudest city in South America and the 5th rudest in the world. According to a 2008 report by Travel Plus Leisure magazine, over 2.5 million visitors toured the city in 2008, which was one of the highest tourist numbers in the continent. However, after sampling the few key attractions in the city, visitors are rather disappointed of the experience, and many of them complain of the lack of culture and tradition in the city, with Buenos Aires being referred to as the Paris of South America. Number 5. Marrakesh. The title of the rudest city in Africa went to Marrakesh, which was ranked at 6th in the world's rudest cities list. The famous city is the 4th largest city in Morocco and is home to a range of tourist attractions seen nowhere else in the country, including the Medina of Marrakesh, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and its residents are seen as warm and welcoming. However, this welcoming nature portrayed by locals is very superficial, with many using this warmth to exploit unknown tourists of their money. Number 4. New York. The largest city in the United States, New York, took the 7th position of the rudest cities in the world. Despite attracting 11.57 million tourists each year, the highest in the country, New York was voted as the rudest city for visitors in the United States. A common complaint from tourists is the extreme noise pollution experienced in the city. This is probably the least surprising of all the cities. It's not that New Yorkers intentionally try to be cold, well, much of the time anyway. Their attitude spawns from their environment. Anyone who has been to New York City will recognize just how fast-paced and intense the lifestyle is, hence the term, the city that never sleeps. While this is true, it also means that most New Yorkers deal with long days, long hours, and are constantly in a rush to get from one place to another. The mentality is make it or break it, and this trend to leach into the tourist atmosphere as New Yorkers can tend to be a bit pushy as well. Number 3. Miami. The warm summer and pleasant beaches have made Miami one of the most famous tourist destinations in North America, with the city being the 2nd most popular tourist destination in the United States. In 2008, the city was voted as the cleanest city in the country due to its year-round clean streets. However, despite its fame, Miami was voted as the 2nd rudest city for tourists in the U.S. The city's hugely expensive lifestyle and predominant Spanish-speaking residents were the primary factors in its inclusion in the infamous list. Number 2. Doha. Qatar's capital city, Doha, was unfortunate to be included in the infamous list and was voted as the rudest city in the Middle East. The city was voted as one of the new 7 Wonders cities in 2015 as a testament of Doha's growing global reputation. However, Doha's extremely hot climate was a point of concern to visitors, with temperatures exceeding 40 degrees Celsius on numerous occasions. Another reason behind Doha's inclusion in the list is the lack of cultural monuments in the city, which is attributed to its tremendous growth in the 21st century and resulted in the demolition of many traditional buildings. Number 1. Lagos. Wrapping up the top 10 list of misery is Africa's largest city, Lagos. With a population of over 22 million people, Lagos has one of the worst cases of overcrowding in the continent. Another common complaint from visitors is Lagos traffic congestion, which can stretch for miles and is the worst in Nigeria. Lagos ranks among the worst cities for expats in the world and is even voted the worst in the Quality of Urban Living Index. Aside from a decent ranking, 40th, due to the local climate and weather, Lagos can be found among the bottom 10 for each factor within this index. Expats are especially unhappy with the local transportation, political stability, and their personal safety. There is no safety, says a Russian expat, and no proper public transport is available. Do let us know in the comments if you have ever been to any of these cities. Please subscribe to Travel the World. How was your experience? Thanks for watching.